Hello year 3, and we're PSHEing this afternoon, and Mrs Ludlow's here being your video head person at the bottom of the page for you and at the screen. And yeah, I do have legs. They are still in use. It's just that, unfortunately we're not together, and we'll get over that soon. And you can see the whole of me, not just my head. All right. So this afternoon we're going to be having a look at deciding how people overcome obstacles, and that they deserve our respect and admiration, and how they achieve, or how they might achieve, their dreams and goals. Getting over things that are tricky is very relevant to us at the moment in our situation, because it is so different and it is difficult at times. So I think we're all doing marvellously well to just keep on going, putting one foot in front of the other. And we've had a really good week this week. I've seen some really amazing work. So all credit to you and your families who are helping you and coping with it all, so that you can carry on with your learning. Absolutely stunning. So we're going to be thinking about these words to start with. Have a little think about them. You can pause the video in a moment, work out what they mean and why we would think about these together, bearing in mind what I've just said about people's dreams and goals. So, what do we have to think about in order to overcome things that are tricky or difficult? What might we have to do? So have a look at these. I'll read them to you first, and then we can pause the video. We've got the word dreams, goals, success, perseverance, challenges, and obstacles. Okay. So we've got obstacles that might be things that perhaps are in the way that stop you from doing something, and in order to get through that, we've got this brilliant word, perseverance, or resilience, I like to say, having that stickability to carry on and do something. Success is when you achieve something. Goals is setting yourself up something to strive towards. And dreams are, it's not about your dreams that you have at night time. This is about, what do you want? What do you dream of yourself being? Or, what's the motive, the thing that would motivate you and want you to do more? What will your outcome, be? And challenges, those are, again, obstacles and things that might be a little bit tricky. So have a little think about that and talk aloud as well. Always do that. We really encourage you to do that, especially if you're at home, and you can pause the video now and have a little think about those words. Okay, hopefully you've had a little bit of time to have a little think about those and perhaps relate them to yourself, or have a conversation about somebody else that might have done something that they might have persevered in, or found something challenging. I think we're all finding probably lockdown challenging at times, working very, very differently. Oh, there goes the obstacles. That definitely is an obstacle, not being able to do what we normally do. So to start with, as a little warm-up, I'm going to play a game called Sound Circles. I've adapted this slightly because of home and being at home, and I haven't got the chime, actually. I haven't brought the chime home, so I can't do that. So I have got my mobile phone with some sounds on it. And what I want you to do is I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pencil. So you can pause the video and go and get yourself just a normal, it doesn't even matter what it is, it can be the back of something, just a piece of scrap paper. And then I'd like you to draw 3 big circles, as big as you can get on that page. And then come back with a pencil and that. So pause the video now if you need to go and get that. And hopefully you've got set up with those 3 circles on the piece of paper. They don't have to be perfect circles. We're not going to keep this. It's not about your final outcome with this. It's about the process of doing it. So what I want you to do is I want you to listen to the piece of music I'm about to play you. It's not very long. And I want you to start, I'm going to try and do it myself actually and get myself a bit of paper. I want you to start with your pencil on one side. Oh, I haven't got a piece of paper here. That's a little bit rubbish, isn't it? Oh, I've got a book with my notes in for school. Oh, I don't want to use that up. Right, I've got my piece of paper finally. Grab my pencil and I'm going to draw just 3 big circles on there. Hopefully I'll be able to do it at the same time as playing. And then I want you to start with your pencil on one side. And then as you hear the music, as you listen, I want you just to, you know, maybe draw what you think the music is doing. So you could do circles, you could do curves and shapes. It's really about the movement of your hand and your pencil. It doesn't, you know, you can cross over. Try and flow like the sound that you're hearing, so the movement needs to match the sound. It's not about the picture, you know. I'm not going to keep this at the end of the day. I'm just, you know, going to see what I can sort of see the sensations and, you know, see if I can get that flow and a little bit of relaxation going on. So listen carefully, make those curvy lines. You can make them big or small depending on the noise, and then Mrs. Lolo will tell you when to move forward, so when you can either move forward onto the next one if you've run out of room, or I'll just tell you to move that forward. Okay, so let's have a go anyway. It'll be an experience. It'll be the first time. See if it works or not. Okay, we'll give it a go. So I'm just putting my pencil down and I'm just looking and just making some nice shapes on my page. And you can move to the next circle. And then to the next one. And that's it. So just put your pencil down. Hopefully I can get that stopped so that it doesn't carry on to something else. That's it. And have a look at Mrs. Ludlow's. I like drawing little skirt curly whirlies on there as well. Lots of squigglies. I do lots of circular doodles actually, so this really matches with my sort of drawing and my relaxation time as well. So just a nice little activity. I found that quite calming actually. And just, you know, not worrying about anything, not thinking about anything, just moving and trying to relax a little bit. So I found that quite nice. Oops, I've got these little things. I like these when they all ping around. And Mrs. Ludlow should have done that before she played it to you, but never mind. So we're going to sit in a comfy position now with hands on our tummy. And we will take a few deep breaths now. This is our rainbow breaths that we normally do. And you can listen with your eyes closed, and then you can see if it feels different. And we'll take some nice deep breaths, and then gradually we'll open our eyes. So if you just sit really nicely with your sort of, you know, try and sit up not too straight, but just, you know, make sure that you're not slumped in a chair somewhere or huddled over your computer, and just, you know, relax a little bit. Put your hands in your lap or just on your tummy. And we'll take a few calming, long, deep breaths. So Take a deep breath in and hold it, and then blow it out as if you're just blowing a bubble out. Another deep breath in and hold it, 2, 3, and blow out again, 2, 3, 4, and take a deep breath in, 2, 3, 4, hold it, 2, 3, and blow out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, and hold it, 2, 3, and blow out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just carry on with your eyes closed. Keep your hands on your tummy or in your lap. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Another one in and hold it, and then blow out. And with the next in breath, as you blow out this time, you just count back from 5. And then just gradually open your eyes. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you should be back in the room. Okay, so that's got another nice little thing, just if you're feeling a little bit, maybe a bit tired, maybe a little bit cross with somebody, deep breaths are a brilliant thing just to bring yourself back into a nice calm state. And try and relax. Okay, so we're going to be having a look at these pictures now. So we're going to have a little think, and you can talk to somebody in the room. It's going to be quite hard for me to talk to you. I just talk at you really, which is really annoying, but I know. But it's, you know, it's very difficult not getting that two-way thing. But if you are on your own, just think and talk aloud. It does, you know, it's really useful. So is this person facing a challenge, or have they already faced the challenge? What challenge might have he or she, I'm not sure if it's a he or a she, might have had to have done to reach that point in their life. And we've got somebody here. It doesn't look very well. This is a hospital room here, and this does look like a nurse. So that's definitely a challenging time. And this person, looking at this, she's on the end of a springboard, like a diving board, with a very big place of water below her. I'm not sure if that's a pool, swimming pool, or if it's in a sea or a beach somewhere. What might challenge what could be the challenge that she's facing? And then this little fella in the corner with his pencil, hard at work. What sort of things might he find challenging? And what do you find challenging when you're busy like that? It looks as though, definitely looks as though he's in a school. What challenges is he facing? And this young person has problems with hearing, difficulties with their hearing, and you can just see that he is wearing a hearing aid, so he has support with that mechanism, that piece of kit that helps him to hear noises, and without it he would probably struggle with learning and listening. But it's quite a bulky hearing aid. They're not always as big as that, but it's definitely something that other people can see, and it can make quite a difference to people's learning, make it quite hard. And this final one, what do you see in this picture? There seems to be somebody there. We'll have a little look. What do you think? does look as though these people are whispering and talking to each other, and he doesn't look as though he's been included with them. And it's not necessarily that this person is directly linked to them and they're being horrible about him. He might just have fallen over and been sad, but I think that picture is indicating that he's being a little bit picked on, and he doesn't look very happy at all. And talking and holding your hand up and talking behind a hand so people can't hear is it's actually leaving them out. It's actually making them feel quite isolated, and it can be quite an undaunting thing to a challenging thing to have happen to you. So have a nice little think about those, and you can pause the video to do that if you want to. So if you can put yourself in the shoes of these people, so imagine yourself on that mountain, how that would feel. What have you gone through to get there? Imagine what that little person in the hospital bed is feeling. What's going through her mind? What, think about those words that we've looked at. What are the challenges there? What are the, how are they having to persevere? How hard is that going to be for them? And if you were in that position, how would you do? Because actually some of those are quite tricky. So you're going to pause now. You've got your pause for thought, and just had a little talk about that. Are you facing any challenges at the moment? And I know that we, as a community and as a country and as a world, everybody is facing challenges at the moment. But that aside, there are small challenges that we have, smaller challenges every day when we're, we're working from home or we're having to go into school. So have a little think about that. Have a think about those people on the previous slide as well, their challenges. Take a nice big deep breath and think about how you feel so far in this lesson. And then you can be ready to restart the video. So we're going to have a look now at who you think is facing the hardest or the biggest challenge. I personally know which one I would find really, really difficult, but I'm not going to share that with you because it's about your thinking. Okay, some of the challenges in there you might not have. You might not have any experience with that. I was thinking actually of the chappie with their hearing aid. That's quite difficult, but also there are people that have trouble with their vision, with their sight, with their mobility. So that's actually sort of a bigger one than just that person. It can be lots of things that can make people have try and get over their problems in order to succeed. So I hope at the end of this that they all succeed, and this person does what she wants to do. He gets on really well with that. These people access their learning and enjoy their time in school and feel happy enough to to meet those difficulties and persevere and really get over that. So some of these challenges are quite huge compared to others. So who is the person that's facing those really big problems? Okay, who do you think is the one that's facing the hardest problem in there? Have you got somebody in mind already? So what's challenging for some people is actually quite normal for others. I know that that Mrs. Ludlow really struggles with her sight at times, but actually it's annoying. But I don't, when I first had to wear glasses and I was struggling with my sight, I really found it hard. But I think I've just got used to it over the time, and now it's quite normal. So you do get used to it, and it sort of first of all it's a bit of a shock, and then it's okay. The other thing is the little girl that we had who was jumping into the sea, or into the pool. It looked like a very big infinity pool, and that might be really hard if you're scared of heights. That little drop that you might think off of a diving board, when you get up there, can feel absolutely huge. And she did look as though she's been standing there for perhaps quite some time. being bullied can really hurt you if you don't think you can talk to anyone. And that's the beauty of being in our school, is that if we hear of any sort of bullying behaviour, we do try and, you know, nip it in the bud and get to grips with that, so that people don't feel hurt or upset about it. But there are always people that you can talk to. There's people at home, there's people at school, there's friends, and there's family. Being in hospital can be really scary at times. It can be very hard, and it can be lonely, especially at the moment, because there are sort of restrictions on what people can do when they're in hospital. They're very different places to what they are without COVID. So that can be a bit of a scary time. But we do get through these, and you know, as children, we've got the support of our family as well to help us. Climbing a mountain is a big physical challenge, so it really takes out, you know, that effort in climbing that mountain, absolutely huge. And you know, you've got that lovely success at the top, and you can see that person celebrating, but there might have been tears, there might have been, you know, having to carry huge bags on their back with all their equipment and their food and their water in there, and it might have been really physically hard. Okay, and joining you with lessons if you're hard of hearing, or you're struggling because you have sort of perhaps problems with your memory and you have to work harder than other people, that can be really difficult. So some people you know, really find that difficult and have to meet those challenges every day, and that actually becomes quite normal for them. But that's difficult, that's a challenge. So if you're finishing off some work and you're finding it really tricky and you're not really into the subject, and you're distracted by other things, or if something's happening elsewhere, then that can be really, really hard to do, and know that you've got to do some work, and actually you're thinking about it makes it even worse to try and finish it. And you start to have those horrible feelings like, oh, I'm never going to get it done, that negative talk, and then getting over that as well can be really, really hard. And you have to have that resilience and perseverance then, and sometimes you have to dig really deep in order to succeed. Okay, so I've forgotten to flick forward, haven't I, again? I do like these little whirly gigs. Mrs. Oh my goodness me, I've just completely forgotten her name. That's mad. Mrs. Armstrong. Oh, duh. She puts those on, and I think they look really, really groovy, but I'm not quite used to turning them forward yet. I'm a bit frightened of them, I think. Sorry, Mrs. Armstrong, I do apologise. So the challenge today is to write down who you think has the hardest challenge out of these people. Explain why you think that person has had the most difficult time, and how they're going to succeed and achieve their goals, if they've done that already, or you know, that sort of daily issue. Why do you think that is the hardest challenge? And explain why over the others you've chosen that one. And you've got a little bit of a skill set to do and have a little look at. You've got the pictures there as well if you've printed that out, and you should be ready to do a little bit of writing, thinking first, and then having a go at explaining why you think that's harder than the rest of them. Okay, so that's brilliant. Get on with that now, and if you want to get some photographs into us to show us your lovely work on this, that would be brilliant. Okay, thanks for now. Bye now.